Corpus Hermeticum, Chapter 9, On Thought and Sense. I gave the perfect sermon Logos yesterday, Asclepius. Today I think it right as sequel thereunto, to go through point by point the sermon about sense. Now sense and thought do seem to differ, in that the former has to do with matter, and the latter has to do with substance. But unto me both seem to be at one, and not to differ. In men, I mean. In other lives, sense is unified with nature, but in men, sense is unified with thought. Now mind doth differ just as much from thought as God doth from divinity. For that divinity by God doth come to be, and by mind thought, the sister of the word Logos, and instruments of one another. For neither doth the word Logos find utterance without thought, nor is thought manifested without word. So sense and thought both flow together into man, as though they were entwined with one another. For neither without sensing can one think, nor without thinking can one sense. But it is possible, they say, to think a thing apart from sense, as those who fancy sights in dreams. But unto me it seems that both of these activities occur in dream sight, and sense doth pass out of the sleeping to the waking state. For man is separated into soul and body, and only when the two sides of his sense agree together does utterance of its thought conceived by mind take place. For it is mind that doth conceive all thoughts, good thoughts, when it receives the seeds from God. Their contraries, when it receiveth them from one of the demonials, no part of the cosmos being free of the demon, who stealthily doth creep into the daemon who is illumined by God's light, and sow in him the seed of its own energy. And mind conceives the seed thus sown. Adultery, murder, parricide, and sacrilege, impiety and strangling, casting down precipices, and all such other deeds as are the work of evil demons. The seeds of God, 'tis true, are few, but vast and fair and good. Virtue and self-control, devotion. Devotion is God-gnosis, and he who knows God, being filled with all good things, thinks godly thoughts, and not thoughts like the many think. For this cause those who are Gnostic please not the many, nor do the many please them. They are thought mad and laughed at. They are hated and despised, and sometimes they are even put to death. For we did say that bad must needs dwell here on earth, where 'tis in its own place. Its place is earth, and not the cosmos, as some will sometimes say with impious tongue. But he who is a devotee of God will bear with all once he has sensed the gnosis. For such a one all things, even though they be for others bad, are for him good. Deliberately he doth refer them all unto the gnosis, and, thing most marvelous, 'tis he alone who maketh bad things good. But I return once more to the discourse. Logos, on sense. That sense doth share with thought in man, doth constitute him man. But it is not every man, as I have said, who benefits by thought, for this man is material, and that other one substantial. For the material man, as I have said, consorting with the bad, doth have his seed of thought from demons, while the substantial men, consorting with the good, are saved by God. Now God is the maker of all things, and in his making he maketh all at last like to himself. But they, while they are becoming good by exercise of their activity, are unproductive things. It is the working of the cosmic course that maketh their becomings what they are, befouling some of them with bad, and others of them making clean with good. For cosmos too, Asclepius, possesseth sense and thought peculiar to itself. It is not like to that of man, it is not so manifold, but, as it were, a better and a simpler one. The single sense and thought of cosmos is to make all things, and make them back into itself again, as organ of the will of God, so organized that it, receiving all the seeds into itself from God, and keeping them within itself, may make all manifest, and then dissolving them, make them all new again. And thus, like a good gardener of life, things that have been dissolved it taketh to itself, and gives them renewal once again. There is no such thing to which it gives not life, but taking all unto itself it makes them live, and is at the same time the place of life, and its creator. Now bodies made of matter are in diversity. Some are of earth, some are of water, some are of air, and some are of fire. But they are all composed. Some are more composite, and some are simpler. The heavier ones are more composed, and the lighter ones less so. It is the speed of the cosmos course that works the manifoldness of the kinds of birth. For being a most swift breath, it doth bestow their qualities on bodies together with the one pleroma, that of life. God, then, is the sire of the cosmos, of all in cosmos, and the cosmos is God's son, but things in the cosmos are by the cosmos. And properly hath it been called cosmos, or in other words, order, for that it orders all with their diversity of birth, with its not leaving aught without its life, with the unweariedness of its activity, the speed of its necessity, the composition of its elements, and the order of its creatures. The same, then, of necessity and of propriety should have the name of order. The sense and thought, then, of all lives does come into them from without, inbreathed by what contains them all, whereas the cosmos receives them once for all together with its coming into being, and keeps them as a gift from God. But God is not, as some suppose, beyond the reach of sense and thought. It is through superstition men thus impiously speak. For all the things that are, Asclepius, all are in God, are brought by God to be, and do depend on him. Both things that act through bodies, and things that through soul substance make other things to move, and things that make things live by means of spirit, and things that take unto themselves the things that are worn out. And rightly so, nay, I would rather say, he doth not have these things, but I speak forth the truth. He is them all himself. He doth not get them from without, but gives them out from him. This is God's sense and thought, ever to move all things. And never a time will there be when even a whit of things that are shall cease. And when I say a whit of things that are, I mean a whit of God. For things that are God hath, nor aught is there without him, nor is he without aught. These things should seem to thee, Asclepius, if thou dost understand them, true. But if thou dost not understand, things not to be believed. To understand is to believe. To not believe is not to understand. My word doth go before thee to the truth, but mighty is the mind, and when it hath been led by word up to a certain point, it has the power to come before thee to the truth. And having thought over all of these things, and finding them consonant with those which have already been translated by the reason, it is even now believed, and found its rest in that fair faith. To those, then, who by God's good aid do understand the things that have been said by us above, they are credible. but unto those who understand them not, incredible. Let so much then suffice on thought and sense.